have to hit the first switch, then the second switch, and then the secret entrance opens. And I think that was pretty self-explanatory.
I was going for the fourth switch.
Oh, the fourth switch is just there to mess you up.
Random knowledge for life. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of 10 Random Things. I'm Rob Kubasko.
I'm Kyle Olson.
We got a lot to talk about.
We do. I see the big star of the show is now back there.
I'm gonna start.
Oh, you're gonna start. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Ooh, let me switch to the
let me
switch to the cam because you got to see this. We got to talk about this.
Whoa!
So we're gonna recreate.
We'll probably have different dialogue though.
We're gonna. I mean, we could. Yeah, that's true.
Barry and Victor and Arthur and Bruce and Diana and Clark. Oh no, I've been giving away their secret identities.
All right, if we got to talk about it last week. Christopher's here. Peacemaker ended last week. You should have already seen it. If not, light spoilers, but it was everywhere. This is not a secret.
No.
Certainly how the show ended.
Yeah.
There he is.
Fine product from McFarlane Toys.
Now here was the big thing.
These are not.
Right.
These are Mattel?
Oh no, these are Mattel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this was before McFarlane took over.
That's why.
Yes.
What's up, Shorty? Yeah.
So here's the deal. Show ends, and we get something that people did not expect.
Yeah.
A Justice League cameo.
Yeah.
This is Peacemaker.
And it was one of those things that you say when they all appear in shadow, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty clever. I'm like, oh, way to go, James Gunn. Like, that's a nice thing. But no. Then they cut to close-ups of Aquaman and Flash, and it's actually them. It's Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller.
Now, here's what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
One, the story that Marvel helped record these.
Yes.
Because James Gunn is in production of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
These guys were not in the studio or anywhere to record this for the end of Peacemaker.
Right.
So one of the units helped with, I forget which one helped which.
Yeah.
Marvel helped do this.
I think they were shooting their movies though.
Oh, because Flash and Aquaman was still in
production. And I haven't checked the timeline on that, but I think they're because I think that's the main reason why we get those two is because they already had the suits. They were already right there. Like the crew was around. I mean, it was super cool. I mean, like is it sort of a dumb dick joke they do? Yeah.
Oh,
that's a James Gunn thing. But it was still like amazing that he got them to come out just for like a 10-second cameo. That was kind of awesome.
So here's the part that's interesting then. That's first part interesting.
Yes.
Is that Marvel helped to do this, right?
Yeah.
Second part is that then people who look very much like Superman and the current Superman and the current Wonder Woman in the DCEU, they are there in shadow, right? You get that.
Yeah.
But then
no sign of this guy.
No sign of Batman. No sign of Cyborg.
Right.
However, you saw the postings of the people who had dressed up for those characters.
Yeah. So
they were there.
Yeah.
They filmed the sequence, and unbeknownst to them, someone in Warner Brothers, or no one is saying, decided to cut them. Why?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot going on with Ray Fisher and Warner Brothers, and so that is well established territory. We stand with Cyborg. But I think the Batman thing was probably because there's a lot of Batman stuff going on. They probably in a corporate line wanted to let's keep people focused on the Batman that's coming out and not be thinking about any other previous Batman.
You think it?
I think it. I mean, there is a lot of corporate synergy kind of stuff coming out. It's coming out next week.
Oh,
so I think so they don't want people thinking about Batfleck. At this point.
Oh, I guess that's.
Even though he's coming back, he still is Batman.
No, he's still Batman.
Because he still has another. He's coming back. He's doing another role of Batman right now, or is coming out in the fall. Sure, it is.
No, but now I get no. You know what I actually had because I still don't.
The Superman thing obviously is pretty self-explanatory because we don't know what's going on with Superman.
Well, I have a third point to that.
Okay.
But I will say that I didn't fully thought. I thought, well, okay, especially because you have Michael Keaton coming back.
Yes.
There's a lot of Batman stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I still think that is surprising.
Yeah, I mean, even the silhouette would have been fine.
You could have just done the silhouette.
Yeah.
Okay, but then here's my third point, which I think is just amazing. This is the second time we have seen a particular character not shown the face of that person because
Yes.
he appears at the end of Shazam.
That's right. Same thing, like Chest Down or whatever.
Just sign him.
Yeah,
just
I know,
sign him
just-
to another movie.
I know, like.
Anyway,
I know. We love
I am not embarrassed to say that I have all these characters. They all exist. I was ahead of this.
Hey, look,
they all exist on the same
united
shelf.
the 7.
Oh, I did. I don't think Chris is the one who wants to
think
do
so.
that.
But yeah, I had actually not seen the McFarlane. That's a Suicide Squad figure technically, right? That's
Suicide Squad figure, which by the way, not in scale
No.
to one another.
No.
McFarlane.
I think there's a King Shark, I think, back on the.
I do.
Back there.
The problem with these though is that those elbow joints
interesting.
those are not great. You don't worry about that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
right.
Peacemaker, check it out, HBO Max.
Yeah.
I had a blast. I know you
I
did too.
I did. I very much enjoyed it. I mean, like, you have to accept a certain amount of James Gunn madness. But,
Yes.
but once you do, I don't get. And I actually had a couple friends who I would not have thought would be Peacemaker fans, like contacted me
Oh,
and we're like, that show is amazing. I'm like, oh, I never would have paid you for Peacemaker fans, but all right, cool.
I think there's people who are not John Cena fans
Yeah.
who are now John
Yeah,
Cena fans.
actually, there was a article that James Gunn came out with that said there was a moment when he was shooting the Suicide Squad. I want to make sure I got the Suicide Squad, where he basically came in on really tight on John Cena's eyes, and he had to when he was about to shoot Ratcatcher in the Suicide Squad, and he said in his eyes he could see this is a guy who does not want to do this, but is going to do it. And he's like, the fact that Cena, like John, like John Cena,
right.
could pull that off in just like a look. He's like, oh, he's got it. He's got the stuff. Like, he said, I saw the same thing I saw in Dave Bautista. He has that thing. He has that thing. And he's like, from that moment, he's like, I want to tell more stories about this guy. And that's where the
great.
whole series started rolling and stuff too. So
The performance of wrestlers, I know it's underrated. When you tell a story, it's great.
Right, exactly. I mean, I think that shows that also that talented performers can come from anywhere. Like,
Absolutely.
And they can't sort of group all together. Because, as we've seen, there are some wrestlers who should never have tried to be actors. All right, so I had an idea of the theme I wanted to do, but I couldn't find the main linchpin. So as I was going through some of my stuff looking for the certain things I was looking for, I found something else that I had actually gotten and never looked at before. So we're going to be looking at something together for the first time that I've never even saw before, because I was a big fan of Peter Jackson much more than I am of King Kong. But I actually got a bunch of limited edition prints from King Kong, and I've never. It's open now, so I wouldn't have to see tearing plastic that. But I've never actually looked at these before. So these are actually from December 13th, 2005. And this is number 14,790.
And you've never looked at these?
I've never looked at them. I'm gonna
go switch to.
I've had them, but I've never looked at them. And I have a signature on there. I don't think he actually signed his name 14,000 times. It's probably an auto pen, but still, it's pretty cool. So this came with the DVD. That's how long ago. 2005.
Okay.
Of just the production diaries, because that's how big the hype on this movie was. They put out the behind-the-scenes DVD before the movie even launched.
There's a lot to be said about this movie.
I'll probably bring in, because the packaging for that is really pretty incredible too. I'll bring in those at some point in the future.
For people,
but this was the thing. I think it's from Best Buy, because Best Buy was the main thing at the time.
I'm gonna leave the mouse. I'm realizing that if I go under.
Oh, it looks a little suspicious.
Just gonna leave the mouse. Just gonna leave the mouse up here. I think it's gonna be okay.
People of the internet, we use a mouse.
But I mean, it
You
still.
have to just accept it.
That was a little more random than what I really wanted to be.
So,
Here's the funny thing about that movie. I won't go get too much into it. There's a particular scene in the movie that is shocking in how revolting and how graphic it is.
The bug pit.
The bug pit. Yeah. It appears on so many top 10 lists of like the scenes in movies that you didn't see coming that happen, and you just go,
"Yeah, I know.
I can't believe this is happening."
He gets his head bit off by a bug. I was like, "Ooh, I came here to see the monkey."
It's crazy. All right, here we go.
All right, so we've got There's like Kong looking in his. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Oh, there's a scene that never happened. Looks like we're being sacrificed to people. Oh,
I love the color in that though. That's
classic
beautiful.
New York. Yeah,
so these are production paintings.
Yeah, looks like it.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I like that one a lot. Look at that. That one is almost
right out of the movie.
Well, yeah, but it almost looks like it was sunflowers, like it looks like a Van Gogh.
There's the
yeah, exactly. I mean, look at the light coming from the thing.
Wait,
bring it closer.
I am
so people can see.
really.
Look at that. I mean, that is pretty impressive. Right?
I'm impressed with these.
Yeah, I mean, this is really nice. Like I said, I totally forgot I even owned these. Let me see if I can bring up so you can see.
I love the one with the fire. That color in that is gorgeous. Wow.
Yeah, so that scene never happened, even in the extended cut.
So this came with the special edition DVD.
Yeah, DVD production diaries, not the actual DVD itself. They came out. These came out before the movie actually came out. This was basically a promo because of how hot Lord of the Rings was. They thought, well, anything Peter Jackson does next, like it's going to be fantastic, amazing, and everyone's going to love it, and we're going to talk about it forever. That didn't really happen. But,
I love
I don't love Peter Jackson's King Kong,
yeah.
But actually, if you watch all the behind the scenes stuff, which I'm so grateful that he does all that stuff, the amount of love he has for King Kong is fascinating. Like the story of him getting to do this movie is fascinating because he got really close about the time of like the Frighteners, like around the 90s. Mm-hmm. He was almost going to do it, and even has like production art and like he made a statue made of Kong fighting a T-Rex and stuff too, and then it completely fell apart. And then it went away, and he did Lord of the Rings, and then suddenly they're like, what do you want to do? He's like, oh, I've been waiting for this question. I want to do King Kong.
It was his I think it was an indulgent project for him.
It very much was. I would classify it as a vanity project.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
It's, time has been not necessarily kind to it.
Yeah.
It was the project that I think a lot of people thought was going to transform Jack Black's career.
Right.
A career that did not need transforming.
True.
Might I add?
Yeah.
We love Jack.
We love Jack.
And it was not. It's still weird. It's still weird to see him in that role.
They were also trying to position Adrian Brody as an action lead.
Yeah.
And that didn't quite work either. I think.
Yeah.
I think Andy Serkis is. I mean, having to play King Kong he's doing a pretty good job. Yeah, like I said, that movie is. But like I thought that was interesting. So I'll bring the other thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fascinating because they don't do that stuff anymore.
No, it's
that kind of promotion. They don't do that.
It's rare to get the really cool special edition DVDs. Like I know I have a couple Iron Giant ones that came with some really cool booklets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's a future show.
Yeah,
we'll
have to
talk
do
about
that.
that.
We'll have to theme it.
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
This is a fine purveyor of online things. This is a gift for my daughter. What now?
Grogu.
And where did this come from? Here he is, right there. I'll put him right in the middle.
Shiny.
From our friends at Toink.
Oh, this is it. This is another fine Toink product.
The Toink product. Does it actually have the? I don't think it has.
So he's ceramic.
He's ceramic.
By the thing,
so a ceramic Grogu. Now, okay, for those of you who have children or you're a young child,
this is great.
The artificial succulent.
Oh, I was gonna say I was being very gentle because I didn't know if it was plastic or if it was a real thing. I think if I brought this home, I think the first thing my daughter would do would be to tear all this stuff and plant an actual plant. She's a lover of nature. Did I steal your thunder? Was that what you were going to say?
No. I think my daughter has not yet received this. She will get it. It'll be waiting for her.
Luckily, she doesn't watch the show. So
I don't think she's watching the show. It's her birthday. She's not watching the show today. I just thought this was adorable. I mean, it is. Look at him. I love that there is a company like Toink that is bringing products like this to market that are very cool.
Filling in the gap that Think Geek left when it sort of got subsumed into the GameStop.
This is reasonable. This is like just under $20 for a nice ceramic piece that's well painted. It's well packed because you can imagine that this would not travel well.
Right.
The artificial succulent thing, I don't know what to say about that, but very cool. And I thought this was neat.
Yeah, I like that. That's cute.
Yay for Grogu fans who need more Grogu.
All right, I'm going to do this guy next. I have an envelope, so I will let you open the envelope.
I'm going to go in with the camp.
So,
here it comes.
Nice thing about Etsy is you can get stuff from other countries. So this is actually imported.
What is this?
Okay, so these are actually bookmarks. So these are not what they are. They look like are fast passes, but they're not really fast passes. This is basically an artist created these, recreated them, and made them bookmarks. So they're not actually joined together.
Right.
They actually he did the CGI thing too, and I was ordering a pin from him, and I saw these, and I was like, oh, I have to have them as well because sadly, fast passes are a thing of the past.
They're being replaced with something else.
Yeah, they're being replaced by something, and that's good. So I thought these were super cool because there's two of them. So one of them is based on rides that no longer exist. So on my thing, I have Horizons from Epcot. We have Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, which no longer exists in one of the parks. Great Movie Ride, which has been replaced by Mickey's Runaway Railway. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which is Nemo and Under the Sea with Nemo and Friends. I don't know exactly what the name of it is. Journey to Imagination, of course, my favorite. Cranium Command. We have the Backlot Tour and Alien Encounter. Ooh, a whole story can be told about Alien Encounter.
Well, wait.
Yeah, so this was the extent of that is a combination of both.
Yeah, I was going to say Jungle Cruise, Soarin'.
Yeah, right now Splash Mountain is still running, but it won't be for long.
Tower of Terror is now.
Tower of Terror is now, yeah, exactly. So Tower of Terror.
By the way, did you see, related to this, did you see the Disney executive that spoiled the unveiling of the new ride in Disney World?
Yeah, you can go right now and find out exactly when the new Guardians of the Galaxy ride is going to be opened up. So I think it's because I think these are super cool, and this takes me back. Fast Pass is such a big deal. I still have some that I never used. And also, if you are interested in Disney and Fast Pass 2, there is a fantastic documentary right here on YouTube from Defunct Land where he does the entire history of Fast Passes, where they came from, why they went away, what's replacing them, about Disney Genie, and he goes so deep into it. It's amazing. I have seen feature documentaries that are not as well researched, and it is fascinating. If you're at all interested in this,
absolutely.
I would highly recommend going over there and checking it out. It's really good. Defunct Land. I can't remember what the name of the video is, but it's about
Fast Pass. It doesn't matter.
History of Fast Pass.
Go to his channel.
Yeah.
You will have a blast of stuff.
I assume it's a team. That group is absolutely amazing. Everything they come out with, I'm always super excited for. So.
We've come to a...
And I'll put the link for that artist on Etsy, so you can import stuff from England as well, because he's super cool. So
we've come to an interesting part of the show.
Okay.
This is the first. I don't have a big splash on this. This is a random rant.
Okay.
This object isn't something that I'm necessarily happy about.
I'll sit back and.
But I'm going to go. I'm going to say a few things. So I'm going to open this up right now. I'm going to pull this item out.
Okay.
This is a Blue Driver. This is a Bluetooth device that you connect to your car's interface that's under its dashboard.
Okay, and then you have an app on your phone.
You have an app on your phone. Okay. You pair it with this, and then it tells you what's going on.
Okay.
Right now, my car has been in the shop. Back, I think about 4 or 5 months ago, I had the engine light come on.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really. Now's not the time to buy a new car.
Sure.
I went ahead and got one of these. I plugged it in. It came back with a catalyst system error, which is not great. Yeah. We've talked on a previous show that we've been on. We talked about catalytic converters, right?
That's right.
So Palladium, for those of you who are Iron Man fans. So I got this, and I got the code, and I was like, okay, that's great. Mm-hmm. I don't need to get it fixed anytime soon. But now it's time to get it fixed because here where we live, we have emissions testing. I have to get it fixed. Yeah. I took it in to get it fixed to a place, a fix-it shop that I trust, mm-hmm. and they came back and said, well, to do any work, we have to run the diagnostic on the car to tell us what's wrong.
Okay.
And the fee for that is $158.
But
I said, I know what the problem is. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And the guy was apologetic. This guy was not because they got my business.
Sure.
I said, okay, wait a minute. You're going to do the same thing that this does. I already know what the story is. You're going to charge me $158. I sound like my dad now.
Yeah.
Well, that $158, if then I proceed to go with the service, you'll of course take that $158 and then apply it to the cost of the service.
Well, sure.
The answer was no.
No.
I just want to say, come on.
They probably had to buy one of those that was like a high grade level, so like a $3,000 version of it, and they're still paying it off.
I'm just a little bit. We are all of a generation right now where we have technology, we can figure it out. I don't think that's necessary. I'm going to put that back and save that for another day so that I can find out what's wrong with my car.
Yeah.
So that I can pay someone else to tell me what it is.
You don't officially know.
It's what it was.
Maybe, Rob, maybe we need to talk about the story of the Hand of the Master. There was a violin that, no, I'm not going to do it all the way, but...
Let me just say, that's a random rant. That's one of many random rants that are coming in the future. Anyway,
so
there you
you
go.
had a rant. I have hubris. I created a one-of-a-kind gift.
Oh, jeez.
And it was not well received. But it turns out the fault really was on me. So
I
I'm going
can't wait
show
to
you.
see
This
this.
is a one-of-a-kind item. No other item like this
Wait. So you
exists
gave
in
it
the
you
world.
made it as a gift.
I commissioned. I would say I wish.
Oh, okay.
I put together a thing. I said this is the one I want. It went off. It got created. It came back. It was not well received. But the problem is I realized I had overestimated how much interest the recipient had in the thing that I was going to be giving them. So
you got it back though.
I got it back. I still own it. I still have
Oh,
it.
okay,
I
all
still
right,
have
all right.
it.
I'm gonna.
Nice thing is because as husbands know, buying gifts for your wives can be very, very difficult. So.
What is this?
Back in the early parts of our marriage and stuff too. My wife is a avid reader. She reads everything fantasy is her big thing. But at the time, she was also indulging me in that she was like actually reading comics. I would like give her trade graphic novels, and actually at the time I was collecting single issues, which I don't do anymore. But I had decided. So she really loved Darwin Cook, the late amazing Darwin Cook, DC New Frontier, and a ton of other. He did a whole series on the Parker books from. And so I was like, oh, okay. Well, I know he had just done a run of revamping Will Eisner's famous character, the Spirit. So Darwin Cook actually did issues of the Spirit. Can you switch to ThinkCam so they can see some of the amazing art there?
Let's see.
Look at that. Just look at that.
I mean, this is
the storytelling of this.
I can kind of see what happened though.
So I bought all the individual issues. So you see the ads and stuff in there too. I bought all the individual issues and had them bound. So this is actually like this. These are the actual real comics. I sent them to a place called Library Binding, which they are unfortunately they have been consumed by another business.
But you can still do this.
You can still do this, yeah. So basically, you send in your comics, you say what cover you want, you say what you want the cover to say, and even now this was in the early 2000s. Now they allow you to do full graphic on the front. Like you can actually get like the template, and you can do a full custom cover, everything you want on the spine, and they'll print that out and do that too. And so, but this at the time, it was basically like you just send in the comics, they send you the book back. And I gave it to her, and she's like, "What do I do with this?" Like, but no, you like Darwin Cook? It's like, yeah, I like his art. Like I would. Give me a print, I'll hang it on the wall. But who's the Spirit? I was like, oh, I vastly overestimated.
Oh.
This is all on me. Like I'm not blaming her at all. This is absolutely on me. Like I completely misfired in terms of understanding what she liked, what she was interested in.
How long ago was this?
This was a birthday present.
How long ago was this?
This was I'd say mid 2000s.
You've gotten way better since then.
I have gotten way better since then. Yes, I would say.
But can I tell you how awesome it is to have this, and you can have this on your shelf?
It's pretty cool, yeah. So basically, it's just like a gift I gave to her, and it just came back to me almost instantly.
Okay, wait a minute.
And now I own it. So I have a couple of these. I actually will end up bringing. I've done this 4 or 5 times or so until I couldn't afford it anymore. And then also I got rid of all my comics, but that's a story for another day. So this is. I have a couple of these, and it's great because like there is no real nice collection of this comic in particular. So that's one of the things I was doing was putting stuff that nobody had made, like that nobody had really sort of made it. And it also is a nice time capsule because it has all of because they are just the comics. I did nothing to the comics. I just gave them the comics. So they just sliced and bound everything together. So all the ads, all the video game ads, all the covers, everything is all still in there. So I mean, when you're flipping through it, it's automatically like sort of opens where the comic books, like where the actual one issue ends and the other begins, because those are the really thick papers because of the covers.
Right.
So like when you just randomly open it, you're going to open to an ad or.
As soon as you pull this out, this reeks of old school library, like periodical archives.
Right. Yeah. I think that's where they made their money. Like that was their main business, and then they found that a lot of people who aren't liked comics but didn't really care about the whole resellability, keeping it minted. I don't really care about any of that stuff. I just wanted to have the actual book so I can read it on a regular basis. So I have a 3-volume collection that I'll bring in at some point. That's pretty cool. That I actually.
What does she say? Does she ever pull this off the shelf? Never.
I don't think she's ever read any of the stuff. But as a tribute to the amazing talent that was Darwin Cook, we are saddened for his loss, but I still have his amazing work still continues on. So.
I did not realize there was a service that did that.
Yeah. And not a lot. I don't think it's a huge money-making business for them because I don't think a lot of people are doing that. But
we have all right. I got to go back here to the. We have some current news to talk about.
Okay.
At the time that we're doing this, so you like video games, right?
I do like video games.
I like video games as well. I have been a fan of different times throughout my life of the fighting game genre.
Okay.
Soul Calibur, or Soul Blade. Wait, was it called?
They've had both. There's a Soul Calibur and there's a Soul Blade.
That original game for Dreamcast? I could just sit there and just listen to the soundtrack, and I would be transported into different places.
The video game fighting game I've played the most it would probably have to be Star Wars Masters of Terras Kasi.
Oh, the character from Boba Fett.
Yes, and also Kira actually is a Terras Kasi master. We see that in Solo when she disappears, does a little flipping thing.
They actually did, so they made that
Terras
canon.
Kasi. I'm like, they just made Masters of Terras Kasi canon? Yes, I understand now it is a terrible, terrible game, but we played that for an entire summer, unlocked every character, had our favorites, we would go back and forth, man. Yeah.
So there is a game you're probably familiar with called Street Fighter.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Recently this week, Street Fighter 6 has been announced.
That's true. They unveiled the logo.
And I think we're going to talk about that because here is
the
graphic representation
of them all
of the history of Street Fighter, starting with the first one, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, here's the deal. I mean, it's horrible. I mean, this is, first of all, look, there is something beautiful about these hand-drawn logos from our youth.
Yeah.
And when I say youth, I'm talking like 80s, late 70s, 80s, right?
Yeah.
This, I don't need to pile on. There must be a backstory as to why they spent so little time thinking this through.
Yeah. Somebody had a deadline. They forgot about it. They had to, it was due the next day. So they hopped on to Adobe
stock.
Yeah.
They found literally this with a few little changes, added a grunge texture, and called it a day. But I'm saddened that there's not that reverence for the history of this logo. Here's the reason. I'm just this made me think of something, and I have a recent edition of my library.
This out?
What's that?
You printed this out?
Yes. Wow. This I believe was collected. There is a blog I check out every day called it's from Under Consideration, which is an agency that does logo design. Okay. They have a segment that you can subscribe to and check it out. Underconsideration.com/brand new. Yeah. They work with showing people the before and afters of logo redesigns. It's amazing resource for designers. Yeah. That's where this came from.
You should donate this that you printed out to a local college to show for one of their design programs to show.
Well, here's what else they could do. So this book.
Ooh,
have you ever seen?
I have never seen the Arcade.
Arcade. This is a extended edition. This is a second printing, I believe, of a book that was out earlier, and you want this version available at Sideshow. Our good friends at Sideshow Collectibles.
I was going to ask if it was a Kickstarter like the other book you brought in.
This is a Sideshow thing that they have.
It's a nice slip case. Always nice.
I
just bought the Dune art book.
I'm going to tell you how happy as I go to the Random Cam. Yeah. This is a book that is a review of arcade art.
Bobble.
And I didn't even
Cabal. I forgot that even
Cloak and
existed.
Dagger, Commando. Here's the reason why you want this one. This game is on many of the arcade one-up. Cruisin' USA.
Oh, man.
Okay, here's what's great. There's classic Donkey Kong. The reason why you want the extended version, the original version, it had many of these images spread across the binding.
The binding.
And this is, you want the Double Dragon.
Yeah, this is like what to be at the top of all of the arcade
There's the marquee. There's a picture of a marquee. There's the Tron machine right now. Look at Do you know how Frogger, and that's classic Frogger with the tire tread.
Galaga.
The greatest game ever. Galaga's right there. This is
really cool.
You look at these, and these are almost all of these they're all hand drawn. Yeah. This is all hand drawn. Lunar lander. Come on. I just love this.
Yeah.
And when you see all this, and you realize this is the DNA that all of this is from. Come on.
Yeah.
What happened? I love this.
Yeah.
If
there's a reason that retro is a thing.
But I mean, even this type of retro, Robotron.
Trying to be all modern, like, come on.
Look at these classic ones. For those of you who are fans of we're big fans of Arcade 1-Up.
Yeah.
I love the detail and the reverence that is given to this art. That's what I thought of when I thought of this. This is a great collection of the libraries. Check it out on Sideshow. I think Amazon has it too, but I think Amazon has. But beware of the non-extended. Thank you. The non-extended version.
That's the problem with slipcases, unfortunately.
Yeah, because
you got to be precise.
Check this out. Arcade. There we have it.
All right. So obviously you brought in, this big guy back here. And so I sort of went in and I thought, okay, I'm going to show off one of my all-time favorite action figures. I don't think you've ever seen this before.
No.
So this is a figure that they did that Disney did for a line that went, like, I think they did 4 figures and then immediately canceled it. Disney has a bad habit of being ahead of the curve. I think if they had put this stuff out now, I think it would have been really good. So stay on you because I want to see your reaction before they see it.
Oh, I have never seen this.
Yeah. So this is the Honorable James Hook, Captain Hook from Peter Pan.
What?
Look at that. He actually does stand. I'm gonna.
Let's go.
Let me bring him up into here. I mean,
what?
Look at that. The hat comes off. He also has. I'm gonna rotate him around here. He also has a ridiculous giant sword, which he can hold in his hand. You can see his hand is in the holding sword position here. The one hand that he has.
Switch back.
Yeah. So
what?
This is amazing. I don't know if I can stand him on top of there. So, like I say, he actually does stand on my shelf, but I don't know if we'll be able to do it on here. So I'll just hold on to him. But yeah, so this was from the Disney Adventurers line. So they put it out, and it was a Disney store exclusive. And like I said, this is probably, oh boy, I'm trying to remember. I have to go into the wiki to do it, but I think it's probably in the mid 2000s. Like I think maybe 2000, like 4, 5, 6, somewhere in there. I think they did. They did Peter Pan, which I also have. He might show up. He's a pretty good figure too. They did Hercules, and I think there's one other one. I can't remember who the other one was. And they were going to do a whole line. It was going to be this whole series of like really hyper designed figures. This is like the 4 Horsemen time. If you're an action figure nerd, like that was sort of that whole period. And then the first line came out, and they were like, at the time they were like $20, $25 figures, whatever. And what? Why would you pay that much for an action figure? Whoa. And so the line failed and died. And it was the worst part about it was on the back they actually showed what the next series was going to be, and they were going to have a beast that looked like this. Like huge, like lumbering, like a gigantic, furry. It's like, and yeah, go ahead. Because he's from that time period. His paints get a little tacky. Unfortunately, that's a side effect of those kind of things. But yeah, he's super posable.
But I can't get over
the design of them is great. I say it was if that was coming out now, like we're seeing it. Actually, McFarlane is doing the Mirrorverse, which are very, very similar to this. So actually, what made me think of it, but. It's one of those figures that I saw. I love this design. Like I think Captain Hook is fine. He's not thinking, but like the design of this figure, the articulation and the just standing still, he's moving. It's like very Kingdom Hearts sort of like just everything big and ridiculous and over the top too. I mean, like I've never seen Captain Hook this cool. And even on the back, you can see just the flowing locks of hair going all the way down into individual pieces. This is just amazing.
So how many characters were in this line?
4. There are only 4.
And who are the other 3?
Hercules, Peter Pan, and I can't remember who the last one was. I'm ranking them by order of how good they were too. So whatever that fourth figure was.
This is
not great.
This is fantastic.
Disney Adventures. If you look it up, you can find the thing. And then and the thing is, I'm surprised that I was sort of like, I wanted to see if I could find some of the other ones, and so I went on, and they're really not that expensive in the collector's market. Like they sort of like blipped, came and went, and it's not even one of those things where everybody's like, oh my god, they're so amazing. Like they sort of sort of disappeared, and no one really remembers them. But like this has been on my shelf since that time. I like of all the figures that I sort of keep in storage, he's always on a shelf because he's such a great display piece. People come in and look at figures, go, wow, where did? Yeah, I mean like the feather. I mean, come on.
So
Captain Hook ever look
I think the reason why these probably have not. One is because so two of the four you said are Peter Pan. Yeah, which is not something that.
Yeah, I think they were trying to do like matchups of like hero villain.
So that probably doesn't have a whole lot of interest now. Yeah. But this style, the closest that like Hasbro ever came with, it was the Unleashed series.
Unleashed, which I love those ones as well. But yeah, it was.
And those were very popular, very much like this, like a singular character and the Hasbro ones though came with like an environment and everything else was really nice.
I don't have to hold on to him. He's standing on his own.
Because the articulation is great. Yeah. I mean he's.
Yeah, I mean especially for then. Like, now we're sort of used to it, but like that was still in the time where it was like one pose.
Oh, that's a great wow though. I mean, had they done like Ursula and the Little Mermaid?
Right. I mean, like that's the thing is they were trying to do the sort of like like basically at the time this is before they bought Star Wars, before they bought Marvel. This is when Disney could not figure out how to get to boys. Like what could we do to actually have guys interested in Disney stuff? Because they're all princesses and songs and traditionally like the stuff that boys would not be as excited about. Now, of course, times have changed, but they bought two of the biggest sort of male fan dominated fandoms out there.
That's a great piece.
Yeah, nice. Yeah,
really nice. All right, I've got my last box here. Another timely discussion topic. I'll bring this out first, and then we will discuss it.
Okay. It's black.
Oh, what is this?
Ooh.
Oh, I have a. This is standard issue. Let me go to the. Let me go to this.
I read the logo on the top.
You make sure I get this open right. Oh, what do we have here?
This is the dangers of sending you links.
Yeah, I know, and I immediately went. So you can see this is a standard issue, original series. We need the Enterprise in here. Standard issue communicator. I'm going to go ahead and power it up.
You got used to the lights flashing.
So you can't. I think you can see. Let me come back to the front here. Okay. You can see the pattern is moving.
Yeah.
So now that it's on, so now I'll do this. and we do have some lighting.
Oh, and you can see the swirl, like the design thing is going.
This is the captain speaking.
Oh.
I'm a doctor, not an engineer.
I think we're on an open channel.
Change the laws of physics. Captain, this is Susan.
We've got almost everybody.
Yeah.
Beam us up, Mr. Scott.
There it is. I think didn't have Spock yet. There he is.
So I've always wanted one of these, and I have skipped out.
I missed getting the Playmates one.
Right.
Yeah.
This is not this is not the Playmates one.
Yeah.
We'll do it one more time. Yes. So what is this? This is the 55th anniversary.
Yeah. That's actually my text ringtone. My text tone when people text me. That's what I hear.
Bluetooth communicator.
Yeah.
This is a high quality. As I pull out the rest of the items here. You'll see. I'll switch to.
It feels really solid too.
I'll switch to this.
Is it plastic?
So, I don't know.
It's real. I mean, it feels. Like it's got a
feels
nice weight.
Really great. Okay, what I love about this is it comes with a really nice hard case. Yes, you got your USB cord. You have this really nice metal stand.
Well, yeah, so there's no and the design there is no port to charge it in. That's weird. I wonder how you would charge it.
Yeah, how would you do that? Here we go. They have a cool base. It has a micro USB. So you have this base, and what happens? You can see our smiling faces. So what happens?
Woo!
I caught it.
Good catch. Good catch. Yeah,
I didn't have it.
I didn't into the metal base, but you can see it went onto the actual stand. That was our fault, not a failure of design.
Not a failure of the design. Try it again.
Okay,
Try one more time.
One more time. Here we go.
Hey, it's magnetic. That's what the
That's what's
beauty,
supposed to
the
be.
beauty of doing live stuff.
Right.
So magnetic Q,
Yeah.
I believe it's QI charging. I didn't try it on the same stuff.
Yeah.
But you've got the cord in the back. It has a cool light here that if we're plugged in, it would show
okay.
the red or green. And it's Bluetooth. You sync this with your phone, just like you would any other Bluetooth speaker or device. And I tried it earlier.
Yeah.
A phone call came in, and this was ringing, and I went, and I answered the call.
Wow, and the sound quality was good?
The sound quality was great.
Okay.
The only thing that I found, and this is not, and this came yesterday, so
Right.
I mean, I'm
Brand
still
new.
figuring it out, was that the volume control of the buttons here, this one is actually a toggle,
Beam us up, Mr. Scott.
so you can actually
Engineer.
control
okay.
things with this one. And when I was doing it, I got the volume down really low, and then you couldn't hear the voices, so I unpaired it. But I gotta say, if you're a fan,
Yeah.
especially of the original series, and I will be honest, this is the only one you would care about because any of the modern ones, they don't have this. It doesn't have this look. It doesn't do that.
Tactile feel of holding it in your hand.
This is fantastic. I plan on keeping this nicely on charger. I love it. Another reason to bring this up, there was some news this week in the Star Trek universe. We have a new movie coming. If they tell all the actors and actresses that there's a new movie,
they announced
it'd
there's
be
going to be
great.
Star Trek 4, like in the Kelvin timeline.
Kelvin timeline.
They announced like, hey, we're making a Star Trek. We're making a Star Trek 4, and all of the actors went, "You are?" Because apparently they talked to JJ, and JJ's like, "Yeah, sure, let's make another one." Not directing, I think he's producing. But they didn't. None of the actors are under contract. So it's sort of like a agent's dream because.
You get what you want.
Yeah, exactly. They can pretty much ask for anything at this point, and they should.
Yes. I'm excited though because I enjoyed those
really
movies.
cool.
I enjoyed those characters.
Yeah.
I would like to see them get one more movie in.
Okay.
Because I would like to see them give tribute to Chekhov
Oh, yeah, true.
and the actor who passed away.
Yeah.
I would love to see them just continue the story because Beyond was so good, even though a lot of people didn't get to see it.
Yeah, it was really good.
I think there's more to say. I think there's more to say,
And you want to see whales. It's Star Trek 4, so there's going to be whales.
no, but I want to see how they connect Picard and Discovery and all the other shows. Because that's why they're doing
It's
it.
not gonna
Because that's why they're doing it. Come on.
So, as a last thing for, I think, am I at the end or you?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
No,
okay,
that's
my
it.
last one. So back in the old days when you had to go, I did the thing about Fast Pass. That eliminated thing. Lines were a big problem. So back in the sort of the early 2000s, I thought, well, if you're going to be sending in lines, why not have some constructive time? So when we went to Disney for, I think we went there on our honeymoon, I purchased a game and brought some along. So these are some of the trivia cards from the Wonderful World of Disney trivia game. So we would talk. We basically, because we had no phones, there was no. This is pre-cell phone, so we would like read the trivia cards. So I thought I would ask you some trivia cards, and I would like to remind you that nothing in here goes beyond 1997.
Oh, I have a chance. Okay,
Yes,
I have a chance.
yeah. So let's see. All right, so let's see if I can find a good one for you. So I'm doing it's random, so I'm shuffling because it's 10 random things after all. Okay, let's see what we can find here. In Disney's George of the Jungle, starring Brendan Fraser, who is George's guide, Shep or Ape? I needed to look because I wasn't sure.
Ape?
It is Ape.
That was a lucky
Wow,
guess.
an ape. He actually is an ape named Ape,
I mean,
voiced by John Cleese.
I didn't think it was either. If it was going to be Shep, then it had to be Larry or Mo.
Fill in the blank from Disney's Beauty and the Beast song, Gaston. There's no man in town half as manly. Perfect. A pure.
I don't know. I can't even
knows
think of the song.
Once again, Howard Ashman. It's a perfect, a pure paragon.
Oh,
You can ask any Tom, Dick, or Stanley, and they'll tell you whose team they'd prefer to be on.
Well, I mean, there's more to be read.
Oh, but, yeah, but, exactly. So this is what the 1997ness of it all. What landmark from the Disney animated feature Aladdin is the gateway to the Explore Zone at the Disney Quest area of Walt Disney Resort? Oh man, that's so torn down. It is gone.
What?
I know. It's actually the Cave of Wonders.
Okay, I love the idea though that you took these like to.
Oh yeah. We would stand in line because I mean, you're in line for an hour. I mean, sometimes maybe even more.
Yeah, because now everyone's just like.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Right. Exactly. So, in Disney's Flubber, what job does Sarah hold at Medfield College? Oh my God. I've never seen that movie.
That's the Robin Williams one?
Yeah, it's the Robin Williams one.
No idea.
College president.
Sure.
Fill in the blank from Disney's Cinderella. Oh yeah, so the categories I should say are animation, film, song, personalities, and mousellaneous. So, what of those categories would you like to do for our last question? Because I know we're wrapping up.
Obviously, mousellaneous.
Mousellaneous. Okay, mousellaneous. On what Disney park attraction do guests get swallowed by Monstro the whale?
Oh, the
It's a long name, so.
Well, it's I was gonna say Jiminy Cricket. I was gonna say Jiminy Glick.
It is. No, not Jiminy Glick.
Jiminy Cricket.
It is from Pinocchio, but that's not what we're asking for.
Oh,
What ride?
is he?
What Disneyland park attraction? They call it attraction.
Oh, I've been on it. I
Yeah.
have no idea.
Yes, well, it's actually. I have to read it because it's long. The Storybook Land Canal Boats attraction. That's what the whale.
You can redo that one.
So
Okay.
yeah, I actually bought different cards for different things. I actually did this for when we stood in line for episode 1 because we stood in line for episode 1 for like 2 hours even after buying our tickets, like in the parking lot. So I brought the Star Wars trivia game and did this. And I did another one, and I have those cards somewhere. That was from the Star Wars Trivia Pursuit. And I did another one for Universal Studios, and I will bring those cards I did for Universal Studios at another episode.
What a remnant from a bygone
Right?
era.
That's what I find fascinating about this is like when they read stuff and you go, that was what Disney was pushing at the time? Like in Disney's Angels of the Outfield.
I'll know this. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. What does Roger pray to God for? A brother, a real family, or a better pitching arm?
Real family.
Yes, he does.
Oh my God. Can I tell you this?
On that note of victory, that's where I think we should wrap it.
And because that movie is going to show up in the future on this show.
Okay, look at that.
Mark my
Tease
words.
for the future. So
It's there's reasons why.
okay,
This has been a really
random.
totally random 10 things.
Some weird fun stuff.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
We hope you've enjoyed it. We thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check it out. Check us out on the next 10 random things. Have a random experience.
That's right. Happy birthday, Morgan.
Thanks.